So today, we're going to dive into a single powerful phrase from a really ancient poem. And we're going to look at this fascinating idea that beauty isn't about what you see, but what you see being done. Okay, so the poem we're talking about is Psalm 27. And the writer, King David, says the one thing he wants more than anything else is to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord. I mean, that sounds poetic, right? But what does it actually mean? What is this beauty he wanted to see? Was it some majestic vision? A blinding light? That's the big question we're tackling today. Now, here's where it gets really interesting. The interpretation we're exploring today argues that this beauty, it's not something you just look at. It's not about appearance. Instead, it's a beauty that's revealed through four very specific, powerful, divine actions. To really get this, we've got to wrap our heads around a key idea that comes from the New Testament book of Hebrews. The thinking goes like this. A lot of the stuff in the Old Testament, the rituals, the objects, even the buildings, they were like shadows. They were symbols pointing forward to a future reality that would, complete their meaning. All right, so with that shadow to reality idea in mind, we're going to break down these four actions that altogether paint this incredible picture of divine beauty. We've got condescension, revelation, sustenance, and atonement. Let's jump in and take them one by one. First up is condescension. And right away, I know what you might be thinking. Condescension sounds bad, right? Like being talked down to, but that's not what it means here. In this theological sense, it's about choosing to come down from a place of incredible honor or power. So the first beautiful act is God choosing to come down to our level. So the shadow for this idea, it's the ancient tabernacle. And what's so wild about it is that instead of telling people to build these huge, towering temples to try and reach up to him, God says, nope, just build this tent and put it right in the middle of your camp. He came down to travel with them. And that's seen as the symbol for the ultimate reality. Jesus becoming human to live, or literally to tabernacle, right here among us. And check this out. This quote just nails it. The Gospel of John actually uses that exact idea. The word for dwelt here literally means pitched his tent. It's a direct link. The beauty then isn't in some distant, untouchable God, but in a God who comes close. All right, that brings us to the second piece of the puzzle, the beauty of revelation. This is all about God not just coming close, but also revealing truth and shining a light in what can feel like a pretty dark world. So you go inside that tabernacle, and what do you find? This 7-branched lamp, the menorah. And its job was super simple, to light up the sacred space. It was the only source of light in there. So that's the shadow. And what's the reality it points to? Well, it's Jesus' famous statement that he is the light of the world, the ultimate source of all spiritual truth. I mean, you can't get much clearer than this quote from John chapter 8. The beauty here isn't just seeing something pretty. It's the beauty of being given the light you need to see clearly, to actually understand what life is all about. It's the beauty of getting direction when you're lost. Okay, number 3. This one's a big one. It's the beauty of sustenance. And this idea, well, it completely flips the script on what most ancient religions were all about. This is what's so fascinating. If you look at a lot of ancient pagan religions, it was humanity's job to keep the gods happy. You had to feed them, give them offerings and sacrifices. The giving flowed from people up to the gods. But this interpretation we're exploring says the biblical God turns that completely upside down. He's the one who feeds and provides for us. And the shadow for this? Back in the tabernacle, there was a golden table with 12 loaves of bread on it called the showbread. They were always there, a constant symbol of God's provision. And this points straight to the reality of Jesus saying, I am the bread of life. You see the pattern? It's the beauty of a God who is a giver, not a taker. And that brings us to our fourth and final point, and honestly, this might be the most powerful one of all, the beauty of atonement. This is all about how we fix what's broken. So, first things first, what does atonement even mean? Well, think of it like this. It's the act of repairing a relationship that's been damaged. In this view, sin breaks the connection between people and God, and a heavy price, a sacrifice, is needed to make things right again. So right there in the tabernacle courtyard, the main event was the altar of sacrifice. That's the shadow. It was this whole system of animal sacrifices over and over again to deal with sin. And according to this interpretation, that entire system was pointing to one single future reality, the cross. where Jesus is seen as the one-and-done final sacrifice that takes care of the problem for good. And really, this famous verse just says it all, doesn't it? The incredible beauty here is that God doesn't demand that we make the sacrifice. He provides the sacrifice for us. He pays the cost himself. It's a beauty you see in this ultimate act of rescue. So let's pull all of this together. After walking through these four incredible actions, what does it really mean to gaze upon the beauty of the Lord? Well, it seems to be a totally different way of even thinking about what beauty is. It turns out the beauty that King David was so desperate to see, it wasn't some pretty picture. It was a story in motion. It's the beauty of a God who comes down to be with us, a God who shows us the way, a God who provides for us, and a God who rescues us. It's a beauty found in what God does. And that really leaves us with something to chew on, doesn't it? This whole idea kind of challenges what we normally think of as beautiful. It makes you ask, what if the deepest, truest beauty isn't about a perfect face or a perfect sunset, but about seeing perfect love in action?